Rob, you've had a few days to digest Sale now. What's your immediate afterthoughts after it?
Oh, well, a bit of disappointment, a bit of frustration, but at the same time, you kind of walk away and go, oh, weirdly it's okay, because it certainly felt like a game we could have won. And I think that's kind of a nice feeling to walk away with. And I think we've walked away from every game like that. And I know up until then we'd won, but there was obviously a couple of games there that could have gone either way. We're very close, but on both of them we kind of walked away and thought, well, yeah, we're okay here. We can beat these teams. We can knock these teams over. And I think that's the important thing. So that's our overriding feeling. And as we've probably analysed the game, we're probably a little frustrated because we've seen space and there's space there to manipulate. And let's face it, we drop a ball that looks like it's going to be a try. We don't make another pass that looks like it could have been a try. We concede a couple of soft, exit rucks that lead to points for them, and you kind of think, well, there's not much different we have to do there to turn that away loss into an 8 bonus point win, really, and that's quite a nice position to be in.
Obviously, heading into Bristol now, they're on the back of a defeat themselves, but we were only up there a week ago with the Prem Cup. What are you expecting from them? Similar again, their kind of game plan?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Friday nights should be a great atmosphere. They get a good crowd. They'll be frustrated and disappointed with losing last week away. We've got to just, like I said this morning, we've got to impose ourselves, really. Bristol want to impose themselves. I think the Premiership is telling a bit of a tale this season, in that the teams that get out the blocks and get on and start playing and imposing their game are doing very well. We'll be aiming to do that. Bristol will be aiming to do that. It'll be quite an intriguing game, and it'll be really who can impose themselves is going to come out on top.
You had the chance last week to rest a few boys. I know some people thought about selection eyebrows raised, but in the grand scheme of things, you've got to keep boys fresh, haven't you? It's attritional this league.
Especially with some of the younger guys, they suddenly put together a lot of minutes. And Chris Jazunza started his first senior game just 3 weeks ago, and has played very well, played a lot of minutes. So you've got to have a bit of time to look after him. Johnny Gray put in a lot of physical contact, as he does, over the last 3 rounds. It was the right time to rest him. Don't forget, it was a short turnaround, and then it's another kind of short. It's a short turnaround to short turnaround, and we can try and say, oh, we'll just sit the same 15 out there over and over again and see how they get on, but we'll only pay the price by the end of the season. And you can have as good as first half of the season as you like, but if you start paying the price later on, it doesn't help too much. So we had looked to rotate a little bit. Unfortunately, it didn't work very well for us because we picked up the two lock injuries very early on, and then Stu Townsend, which kind of limited the options coming off the bench. But it has meant we've got a couple of fresh guys ready to fit in and get going this week. And hopefully those injuries don't end up being too bad.
Equally, though, three wins from 4, you would take that at any start of the season.
At any stage of the season, and especially if we can get another win now. If you can go 4 from 5, that's a real solid start. As good a start as probably we've ever put together. And I think that's the important thing to remember is you build foundations now and you collect points that are going to become important later on down the season. I think we're still actually going to hit our straps yet. I think we're going okay and we're showing great endeavour, work rate. We've got good spirit in the team, which is fantastic. Pardon me. But I think as a team we're improving, and I can see that. And I know that people go, well, how can you say you're improving? You just lost a game of rugby. That's not where the improvement's happening. The improvement is happening day by day with this playing group, and that's the important thing for me to see. And for some of these guys to improve, we're going to have to lose. People are going to have to understand that you don't become a really good player without going through a bit of a furnace sometimes. You've got to sometimes go through the tough bits, and it's what actually makes you the person you are. And the disappointments can lead you to what you need. We had quite a lot of lads who kind of needed to experience a final. We didn't perform very well in our first final in the Premiership, but we actually needed that experience to enable us to win anything else. And it was getting there that was important. And we've got to be prepared to get this group into some big games or some high pressure games. And Friday, because we've won 3 and we're towards the top end of the table, Friday will feel like quite a big pressure game for a lot of our players. Some of who have never really played in that kind of level of game yet. That's great for them. If they can come through it, fantastic. But as long as they learn from it, we'll keep moving forward.
You talk about the doubts over 3 of the lads there, but Scott Seo comes to the club today. How much are you looking forward to him coming in and what he can offer?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward because I think we've kind of recruited him to fill a certain role. I mean, I think anyone who's watched Alec Hepburn charge around in the last 3 or 4 weeks can see, the effect that the damage a loose hit can have and how much impact they can have on a game. Scott Sears is a very slim type of player that he likes to run, likes to get on the move, likes to ball carry, is an explosive player and person. That will give us that extra bit of something that we can use between Alec and Scott. And to be fair, we've relied a lot on Alex so far on game minutes, and it'll be good to make sure we can keep him fresh as well. And obviously Josh Scott has looked okay at loosehead. James Kenny has got some work to do, but he's got some potential there. So we've got some options, and we've got to just keep making sure that we keep ourselves as a dynamic pack of forwards as we can.
We've seen Worcester already loan 4 players out. You've talked about potentially bringing in some injury dispensation for Aidan Davis. Are you looking at Worcester? Are you looking at other players at the same time?
Yeah, we've obviously been looking at Worcester, but we've also got our kind of feelers out there. I suppose that pushes on a little bit. That's kind of suddenly become a little bit more interesting with having a couple of second row injuries this week, because obviously I don't think Jack or Dafford are going to be immediately available. That does stretch our resources a little bit, but then at the same time, Lou Pearson did really well up at Bristol in the Prem Cup, probably his best game I've seen him play for us. So he's starting to put a good foot forward now and getting regular game time at Pirates, and that's really developing him. And so we've got other options outside of just bringing people in, but we are keeping our eyes open. Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.